What's up, guys? Welcome to this week's episode of Jordan Scott's Tech Corner. Let's get started. Up first, Bose's audio-based augmented reality sunglasses are up for pre-order. The reality scene is getting a little mixed up with these sunglasses. Bose first announced these futuristic sunglasses early 2018 at South by Southwest. They work by pairing with your phone and gathering data from its 9-axis motion sensor. In combination with voice commands and its multifunction button, the device delivers information about whatever you're looking at. This information is delivered by a set of open-ear monitors at the back of the sunglasses and the frames of the lenses. According to The Verge, the device was lacking in accuracy about whatever you were looking at, but the delivery of the audio was on par and perfect. The device is set for release in early January 2019. This is a pretty nice change up in the scene of reality. We hear a lot about visual-based stuff and a lot of mixed reality stuff on our phones and stuff like that, but this is new in the sense that this is an audio-based reality technology. I'm really interested to see how companies and application developers will adapt their own technology to this platform. Up next, notch versus hole punch design. Samsung and Huawei deviate from the notch hype to deliver a punch to the competition. With the Apple release of the iPhone X in November of 2017, the notch hype began. We've seen phone developers such as the Essential Phone, OnePlus, LG G7 ThinQ, the Asus ZenFone 5, the Xiaomi Mi 8, Vivio V9, Huawei themselves even with the P20 and the P20 Pro deliver phones with notches, and I'm sure many more to come. But now we have Samsung and Huawei with their own, spin on this innovative phone design with a cool little hole punch at the top of their phones. We have Samsung with the Galaxy A8 lineup, and Huawei with the notch design at the top of their phones. For the Huawei phone, the rear camera will be packing a massive 48 megapixel sensor, and nothing yet has been announced about the Samsung A8 lineup. As far as we know, as of right now, China will be getting both the Huawei and the Samsung phones, as well as Huawei announcing a global version of their phone soon. With the race to the fully bezel-less phone well underway and been underway for the past couple of years, this is a pretty cool change-up. I'm mostly interested to see how these phones sells and to see the consumer reaction behind these things. I'm all for innovation and new phone designs. I'm definitely all for getting off the Apple bandwagon and just trying to copy what is already proven to be popular. But if these phones sell well, this will be a pretty cool change up, and hopefully it allows developers to be a little bit more ambitious with their phone designs in the future, and not just trying to follow the current trends. In other tech business news, Google has acquired one of India's most popular train writing apps, Where Is My Train? The app, which has 10 million registered users and tracks the arrivals and departures of trains in India, has been bought by Google. The deal plan falls under Google's The Next Billion User Initiative, which is an initiative to get internet to users and people around the globe who don't currently have service. The app won't be undergoing any major design changes or experiencing any downtime while the transfer is happening. In my opinion, this is an interesting move for Google. To start off, I guess I should say, the Next Billion User Initiative is something that's going to really help underdeveloped and not necessarily underdeveloped countries, but underdeveloped communities get internet access, kind of like what Facebook is also trying to do with their service and their air blimps and stuff like that. So this is a really cool initiative done by Google to get internet to people who don't currently have it. But I'm also interested to hear what will be happening with this with the user data and what Google will kind of innovate off of, and how this data will impact innovation in that current sector. The services that the community or the people will be getting on the trains and around the trains will be a quote-unquote light internet service, which will offer, I believe it said, Google, YouTube, and I think another application, I'm not quite sure off the top of my head, that will just be like a light version that'll have reduced data usage and stuff like that. So I'm interested to see how, or if any, proprietary, innovation comes from this, with all this new user data being sent up or being captured by Google. Up next, Google's call screening transcriptions start to roll over to Pixel users. Google's Verse services continue to transcribe our lives in their next big move. The transcription service, which was announced at Google I/O 2018, and is rolling out to Pixel users before the end of the year, or at least to most Pixel users before the end of the year. This service will allow you to have a Google Assistant answer the phone for you and show a transcription of the screen of what's being said. So it'll answer the phone for you as well as answer any questions that are being said over the phone. The assistant can do things such as make reservations, answer common questions, and any other questions that can, be discernible under their artificial intelligence algorithm. Also, during the call, you can choose to quick reply specific messages, or you can even choose to answer the phone. In my opinion, this is a pretty cool tech. This is pretty cool to see, the next iteration of artificial intelligence and what can be done using artificial intelligence on our phones. So, an artificial intelligence application answering as you for you. This is pretty next level in AI to rule the world one day, I guess. Double thumbs up to that. Up next, the company Arculus is innovating the 21st century production line. Arculus, a company based in Denmark, is offering a new solution to the production line. A little bit about the production line and how it's transformed, or not necessarily transformed, how it was conceptualized. The assembly line was popularized in the 20th century by Henry Ford to make his Model T cars in a more efficient manner. Workers has one task as the car would move down the line. The efficiency came into play because the workers had only one task to do, had reduced movement, and had less responsibility on the car that was being made. But this all came at the cost of manpower. Arculus is offering a software-hardware package that offers independent module workstations. So basically, what will be happening is instead of a linear layout of a production line, you will have multiple workstations where a product can independently move from module to module. The hardware innovation coming from this company is the Arculus. This is a mobile platform which has a payload of 1,000 kilograms, and each Arculus is asynchronous with one another, so they communicate to figure out which is the best path to completion for a given product. This could really be the future of mass production. I could see this being a big factor in the future when it comes to phones, cars, basically anything that has a customization factor, because if this production line were to be able to become widely accepted and widely used, you could see more customization options given on a single product, and this would allow companies to have more customization options. For instance, if a product goes through 5 workers, you could have 5 different modules, but instead of those 5 different modules, you could have 25 different modules now, and not necessarily having to go through each of those 25 modules is big when it comes to time efficiency. So now we could have 25 different modules, but let's just say we have 5 different subsections, and each of those 5 different subsections has 5 different options to go to, or where a product could go. So we could see potential, let's just say a car has 5 different types of tires, 5 different sets of speakers, 5 different window shades, and 5 different doors, and let's just say each color has its own module station. Now instead of having to change up the whole entire line or change up products mid-cycle, you could just see one continuous flow of production, basically. And that's all for today's episode of Jordan Scott's Tech Corner. You can check me out on social media here and hope to see you next week. 2 thumbs up to y'all. Deuces.